And I believe the first one today will be that the first day that we're going to be opening is September 14th. So that would be a week out from when we were originally going to start. And the reason being is we want the teachers to have their superintendent's conference days up front because, of course, we don't know what's going to happen for the school year as far as us being open. They need to be in service as much as possible on remote learning. Also, like you, they haven't been here since March, so they have to get comfortable with wearing the mask and following all these new policies and procedures that we have as a school district. So I've talked to them about it, and they really want to do it this way, and I think it's the best thing to do. So we just made the decision, so you will be getting that Blackboard Connect as soon as possible. And I believe it's coming out probably right after this meeting, probably around 2:30. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. I hope this summer you've been able to enjoy. I know the past several months have been anything but normal for all of us. And as we head into September, I know we all have some stress and anxiety. And, the idea of these forums is to help you with your potential return to school and try to help any doubts that you might have through answering questions and through the forum. As you're aware, this past week, uh, the New York State Education Department has released guidelines and documents for school plans, and the information is useful, as we've attempted to build our plan, uh, but it focuses on educating our students and health and safety, but also it really maintains a high regard for all of you, which is very important for our families and our parents and our guardians. And in some regard, the guidance documents that came out can leave you with more questions, and I understand that, than 2 weeks ago. And we're trying to help you with the information so that we're all going to have a better picture of what to expect come September. One thing that is very clear in education in a school building, it's not going to look the same as it has looked in years past. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and then I can honestly tell you I've never seen anything like this. It's disappointing for all of us. It's disappointing for the children, the families. It's also disappointing for all of us, that we're really rebuilding a system, and it's just the reform that's happening, just from March to now is unbelievable. I guess this is a chance, working in public education, um, you know, that all of us, the staff, the faculty, all of you, my administrators, we have a positive attitude, positive outlook to the entire process. And if we have that, I think our children will succeed. There's no saying that sometimes you have to make lemonade out of peaches, but it can be done if we stick together. We keep our frustrations out of the sight and ears of our valuable children who are our future. One other thing, the past several months have been difficult, and not here, but everywhere, including all of you in our entire community. And we are navigating as best we can. We're adapting every day to a new environment that we've been thrown into. There's no playbill telling us what to do. As you're aware, school districts throughout the state and country are working to develop plans. They're transparent. They will be changed. And we're just trying to offer our students, our children, a return in-person learning environment with many adjustments to the traditional model and, the experiences that we've all been accustomed to previously. I guess we have to understand that in-person learning, it's just changing. We've been through the remote model, and I personally feel the in-person learning experience is the preferred method of education. That's what I'm used to when I taught school, and we're working as hard as we possibly can as a school district to meet all requirements that are associated with welcoming back our students and faculty and staff back to school. So with that said, I'm going to start the PowerPoint. I'm going to talk a little, about a few different points throughout the pages. I'd like to thank Matt Toomer, who's been a big help just now helping us get the everything started. I have Jen Sanford here. She's our Director of Pupil Services, Special Education. Matt Lewis, assistant principal. Pre-K-12, Deb Javerone, who's my secretary. Dr. Wojcicki couldn't be here. He was here this morning, but he had to leave. And we have a new communication specialist through BOCES, Betsy DeMars, and she's done a wonderful job of creating all the information through this whole epidemic through our website. So I see questions pop up, but they pop on and off, so I can't see them long enough to answer them. So Betsy is going to be working on the back, seeing if we can answer any questions throughout our presentation today. We are going to have a page on the website. I think she's already put that up for any questions that you have. Well, the questions that we have, some of them are the same, just written differently. So if you don't see your exact question, just look at all the questions, because I think you're going to find the answers that you need. All right, so we're going to start off Mayfield reopening plan, and we're just going to take it page by page. All right, the school schedule. So it's going to be different, and you will be getting information about this. And I guess the first thing that you need to know is we have blue days and gold days. So blue days are one group of students, gold days are another group of students. So luckily, we were able to divide our school district in half, 50%. And so 50% will attend Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, the entire district, pre-K-12, is home remotely. And then Thursday and Friday will be the other half. So during remote days, which will be Wednesdays all day, students will be engaged. They will all be in the learning process. You know, we have synchronous lessons and we have asynchronous lessons. And due to the guidelines and the capacity of our cohorts would mean the different grade levels, like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, or 5th, 6th, and 7th. And the groups can't be predetermined. They're designated groups, so we can't change it. We can't do, you know, some children come all 4 days, or some children come on blue days, or some children come on gold days. We realize in today's world, you know, there's different family situations, so we are honoring that as far as kids coming in at the same time. You have any questions about that, you can work directly with the principals. And with synchronous lessons, what I'm saying is the students are engaged and learning all at the same time. And the asynchronous lesson is learning that is done, doesn't occur in the same place at the same time. So, you know, sometimes you've probably seen this with remote learning. The teacher will have you go to something that's been pre-recorded. Let's just say it was kindergarten or first grade, and you might have the teacher, actually I saw this done by one of our teachers who was right over here. She read a book outside, and then I think she brought a little bit of science, and she talked about nature. It was a great opportunity for our students. And I think it was pre-recorded, but I'm not sure. So anyway, that will be the school schedule starting this year, 2021. Monday and Tuesday, blue, 50% of our students will attend in person. And the gold days, 50% of our students will attend in person. And then Wednesdays will be remote all day long. The teachers will be home on Wednesdays. Monday, Tuesdays, Thursday, and Friday, they will be here. The reason why they're home is we're going to do a thorough clean after the first cohort. After the first cohort being 50% of our students that are here Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, they do a thorough clean and disinfect for the next cohort, which is the other 50% of our school districts, which will be Thursday and Friday. Then Friday, we do another full 100% disinfectant clean after the kids leave. So our custodial staff, our janitorial staff, their hours will obviously be a bit different this year till we get through this whole epidemic, but they're on board. And you know, it's important for us to keep all of you safe and all of our students safe. Our next slide is about learning expectations. So I'm sure you've already seen quite a bit. I know that parents that I've talked to have been amazed with what teachers have done with technology and how much education has changed with technology since you were in school. And you know, it's kind of amazing if you ask your own children. I mean, they know so much more than we do in many ways, and pick up on it so fast. It's truly the world they live in. So we are offering a variety of instructional approaches that will be utilized. One of the first superintendent's days, which will be right after Labor Day, those 4 days for our teachers, um, they are being trained in different instructional approaches that will be used for your students. And actually, they're fun, they're interactive, they're interesting. You know, some are more primary, some are more middle school, some are more high school, and they include learning activities, and it will help the teachers monitor progress. So that's really important. The teachers have to be able to see progress, to see that the students are learning. It's important that your children actively participate every day, and the participation will affect their grades. So for remote especially, participation will affect their grades. So you as parents and guardians, you need to be actively involved with the learning process. I can't say that enough because I know it's been hard too for a lot of you with technology, and we appreciate that. And if we can help you in any way, um, our teachers here, our faculty and staff, we're more than happy to help you. You know, if it's a software thing or something with an assignment. The teachers are available to you, and so are the principals. So they're here to help you. They have email addresses. They want to collaborate. They want to communicate, and they want to know how you feel. So please do not hesitate to contact them in any way. But it's very important that we have learning expectations as a school, no matter how we're teaching hybrid or at home or whatever. That students are learning.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
So there are going to be some tutorial videos on our website that all the parents can access. So if you're having a difficult time navigating Google, the Google Classroom, there are some tutorial videos that'll be on there to assist you with that if you're having a difficult time. So just visit our website. You'll be able to find all those tutorials, and those are there to support you.
So I've asked the principals to jump in throughout our forum for things that I might miss or I might not know about because, obviously I'm at a different level, so they're more plugged into what's going on in classrooms. So thank you, Dr. Lewis. But parents need to be actively involved. That is huge. I didn't catch that question. Okay, health, safety, and social distancing. So this is huge. So all of us have been here since March 13th. We wear masks, all right? We use sanitizer, and we have gloves. And this is the world that we live in. It's changed from when you left on March 13th. This is school today, unfortunately. So that's another reason why the teachers are coming in for that week after Labor Day, because they need to adjust and get used to the new policies and procedures that we've had to put in place. I'm sorry if you couldn't hear me. They have to adjust to the policies and procedures and, get used to wearing the mask, which is very important unless they're 6 feet away, and how they're going to create, a classroom environment that's positive and learning that's happening and developing relationships with the students, which is huge. This is really taking a social emotional toll on the kids and on the faculty and staff because they didn't expect it. It just came upon us very quickly, and it's important that they have that. I said the first week when they come back, those first 4 days, they really just have to spend time with the kids and get to know them and what they've been through and how they feel and it's just they need to have a relationship building because we don't know how long this is going to last for. Face covering breaks will be provided throughout the day at the teacher's discretion. So that's really up to your classroom teacher. So you can email them or call and find out how they're doing it because I think there's going to be differences, like say between high school and first grade or the middle school and third grade. And, and then you have these health situations where some kids just have asthma or breathing problems. They don't feel comfortable. So these are all things that we have to work through. And as the teachers get to learn their new students, this will help them. So And if you have any students like that, we would be happy to help you. And there was an IEP question. Did you question? Oh, I think it was 4 days. Okay. I think Betsy's going to try and catch those questions for us. So, face coverings are not required while eating. Absolutely not. They do not have to be the face coverings while eating, but just so you know, it will be 6 feet apart. So they will not be next to each other while they're eating. Again, we have to do this. So unfortunately, I think a lot of memories are made in the cafeteria, but I know with breakfast in the elementary school, it's going to be in the classroom. In the secondary, middle school, and high school, will be in the cafeteria. The reason being, in middle school and high school, we're putting additional tables in. There's enough room there that we can sit a few kids at each table, so they're 6 feet apart. And we've had to measure all these things. It's been kind of an interesting experience. But also, you have to remember, we're only having half of our district in at one time. So that changes, the whole dynamics of our school also. Let's see, no bandanas. Yeah, that's true, no bandanas. That's part of our code of conduct. And our code of conduct is, it's still going to be, part of the school district, even though, we're running at half mast, shall we say. So we will have masks here, though, masks here if they need it. There will be temperature checks for all students, staff, and visitors before entering school. So I'm sure you've experienced that at some of the places you've been to. I know I just got my hair cut. I had to have a temperature check. And so we'll be doing that here also. As far as the kids taking the buses from our survey, it looks like a lot of the parents are going to be driving the kids, and we understand that the the buses are going to be, man, they're going to have an aide on the bus with the bus driver. The aide will be getting off the bus to take the temperature. Those children who have a temperature of 100 or higher, it could be anything, not necessarily COVID. We will have the aide bring the child back to the house. If no one's home, obviously we'll bring this child with us back to school. But that is something that one of the things that had to change this year is that we had to have somebody, can't have the bus driver do it because they're driving the bus, they can't take their eyes off the road. The safety concern, so we won't have an aide on all buses this year. That is a change, okay? Infection control strategies in cleaning and disinfecting. So every classroom has at least one window that opens completely. I don't know if you can see in this room, but the windows are like half the size of the screen I'm looking at there. They're huge. So we have a new director of facilities, and he's gone around to check the classrooms. And I think there's 3 classrooms in secondary that we have to work on a window in each of those rooms. But the idea is to have one window. We have one window open right here. It's huge. While we're in here. Custodial staff will be cleaning high-touch surfaces throughout the day. Yes, that's true. They will be giving policies and procedures on what needs to be cleaned throughout the day. Their jobs are obviously going to be changing because not only are they cleaning, but disinfecting. It says on here bathrooms will be cleaned at least twice a day. It'll probably be more than twice a day because we're hiring substitutes to come in to help with that during the day for a few hours. So I believe there's group bathrooms in both the middle school, high school, and elementary. Elementary has how many? 2, and high school has, that's including middle school? So there's 5 in the middle school, high school, and there's 2 in the elementary school. So the idea will be for the disinfecting process that they will be, the extra custodial staff will be going in and doing a run of disinfecting in the group bathrooms, but then also they will be going into a lot of the classrooms have bathrooms, at least in the primary or elementary. So they will be also going through and doing disinfects during the day. We just have to, you have to find out, we're looking at buying certain things, the sprays on and wipes off. So the idea is that it disinfects and follows what we need to follow the CDC, but also doesn't create a strong smell because the kids will be in the classrooms being taught. Okay. Um, Schools will be disinfecting and clean using improved methods after students leave the building. That's correct. That will also be happening every night. And sanitize after every cohort. That just means that Monday and Tuesday is the one cohort. In this way, we're saying this to you, and then Thursday, Friday is another cohort. So in schools, the word cohort would be like the senior class is a cohort, the 10th grade class is a cohort, 6th grade is a cohort, all the kids in 6th grade, all the kids in 12th grade. But in this situation, we're saying the cohort is blue Monday and Tuesday, and the cohort is gold Thursday and Friday. So I wanted you to understand that, and so that you're not mixed up. Okay, let's see here. Okay, management of ill persons. So anyone displaying COVID symptoms will not be allowed on the bus, or will be allowed to stay on school grounds. So like I said, if a student has 100-degree, presents themselves with 100-degree temperature before they get on the bus will have to wait, and the aide will bring the child back to their home. If no one's home, then of course we'll bring the child to school. The aide will be wiping everything down as each child enters the bus. There's different policies and procedures for that. So it will be very stringent. And, and also keep in mind, like I've said, the Department of Health says just because they have a 100-degree temperature doesn't mean they have COVID. So the other thing you should know about that is no one can, all of us here, including myself, will have our temperatures taken every day by other people. So there's always going to be a record of, where we are here. And if anybody here has a temperature over 100, then they're going to be sent home, and they can't come back until they have a note from a medical affiliation. So that's a guideline that we have to follow, and that's a guideline that we're using for faculty and staff, bus drivers, custodians, cafeteria workers, everybody, and then also the students. Department of Health will contact us if a student or staff tests positive. They'll do this through contact tracing. And once the contact tracing is completed, there'll be a plan disseminated on how to proceed. So contact tracing is one of those new terms through COVID that we've learned about. It's very important. And we'll be following that very strictly here in school. And I guess another question that's come up is, will there be testing? There won't be testing here at school. There won't be testing here at school. There will not be testing in the county health departments. So if whoever has a temperature above 100 degrees is sent home, they can't come back until we have a doctor's note. So that's how that will work. Let's see. Health and hygiene training. So the Mayfield Central School District will train staff and students in proper hand and respiratory hygiene procedures. So, I think last year, at least in elementary, I believe the nurse did something with sparkles and washing their hands, and if they don't do it correctly, the germs that are selling. Yes, okay. I don't want to turn too much because you can't hear me when I turn. So, I think they're going to have videos about that for the parents to watch with the kids. I think that, the teachers are going to be working with the kids on that. I know the nurses will be working with kids on that. So, frequent hand washing and sanitizing has really become a part of, our lives here in school. I know it's been part of our lives at home, but it's also true here too. They will be having frequent hand washing, sanitizing. We do that here. This will be in every classroom. Cleaning and disinfection procedures are outlined by the CDC and DOH. they will be followed. And as Matt had said, there's a lot of links and educational material on our website. I think our website has grown and become very important this past school year, and I think it's very informational. And I think you can find out a lot of information, not only about COVID, but what's going on in the school. To give you an idea of where I am today, we have 6,000 masks, we have 100 N95s, 50 shields, 1,000 gloves, 20 thermometers. We have social distancing floor decals are not down yet because we're not finished cleaning the floors yet. But as you know, like when you go to the grocery store, it's marked, 6 feet, stand here, 6 feet, stand here. Same thing. Gonna have the same thing here. So we're gonna have 120 hand sanitizer pumps, and we're also gonna have 15 additional hand sanitizer dispensers. So the dispensers are like when you see in the bathroom, I guess, when you pull the thing out like this, and the sanitizer comes out, and then all the classrooms will have bottles of sanitizers, and our secretaries, except for elementary, will all have a plexiglass barrier. I'm sure you've seen that also in the grocery stores. We will have the same thing. It's not in yet, but it has been ordered. So we are making following the recommendations and all the policies and procedures that we need to do. I'd also like to thank Rebecca. She works in elementary school, and Janine. They've worked very hard in helping all of us here. We're not doctors or nurses, and they've really helped with doing the medical part of our plan and what we need to do for our students. If anyone has that 100 degrees and we don't know what it is, because it could just be a flu or something else, each school is going to have a room to put the kid in, so they'll be separate from the other sick kids. I think that's important, and that is something that we're going to have. I hope you guys are still with me because that light's just went out. Let's see. Okay. Next slide. Face coverings, PPE. The face coverings will be provided to students who do not have one. So an example would be, as I said, if the student comes to the bus stop or is at the bus stop after they've had the temperature taken, and not every day, but certain days, there's a sheet of questions that the students will have to answer that we have to follow. That's just something you should be aware of. And they get on the bus and they don't have a mask. We're not going to let them on the bus until we give them a mask. So there will be a box of masks on the bus. There's also going to be a mask on the bus, a box of masks all through the school, classrooms, library, cafeteria, secretary's office. So we're here to help you. We're here to help the kids. So that's our responsibility. So we want them to be safe. So if that happens, we will have them. So I just want you to know that. Let's see. So district transportation departments will have extra masks available on buses when a student forgets to wear their mask. And that's very possible. Or maybe you don't have any, maybe you ran out of masks. That's okay. We have that covered. Face coverings may be removed to eat. Yeah, for some reason that's come up a few times, so I thought we'd put that in. But otherwise, they really must be worn at all times when we're building. Face shields are not an alternative to a face covering. And as a reminder, face covering breaks will be provided throughout the day. And that's important because, just like all students learn differently, they're all going to react differently to face covering. I don't know how much to wear them at home. So we understand that. We respect that. Many of our teachers are parents. They've been dealing with this at home, bringing the kids into the grocery store or the pharmacy, and they have to wear masks. They want to let them in the door. So we know it's challenging. I'm sorry. But we also have to make sure that all of us are safe, including your loved ones. So vulnerable populations, of course, we have that. All schools do. Special circumstances will be discussed, and accommodations will be established on a case-by-case basis. So I don't want you to think students with special needs. I want you to think all students, because all students could have a special circumstance that we have to help you with to make that child successful in our school. So that's our job. It is case by case. You need to let us know if it is in a special education situation or a 504 situation or an IEP situation. We're only going to know if you can communicate with that with us. So please, please, please contact the teachers or contact the building principal. Additional PPE, an example, this is just face shields and gloves, will be provided to individuals with underlying health conditions with a note from the physician. But I mean, there could be other things, but this is just an example of the face shield and gloves. Breakfast and lunch is available to all students. I want you to be very clear on that. Breakfast and lunch is available for all students. And primary, the breakfast will be provided to students in the classroom. So they'll have carts, they'll bring them down the aisle, and we'll have someone take, the food off the carts and set them up on the desk. Just keep in mind, there's only half the kids in each classroom, so it's, they're spaced out either every other desk or every two desks, this way and this way, so that you get that 6 feet thing going on. So the less the kids move around, the better. And so that's why we're doing the breakfast in the classroom. And the secondary side of it, they can eat in the cafeteria downstairs because of being half the school. It works. We've tried it out. I think, is it 2 kids per table?
Yes.
So it's 2 students per table. That's for grades 7 through 12. And then we just have to add a couple tables, 2 or 3 tables, so that we definitely have enough room. But we have enough room to add the tables, but that's so we have enough room for the number of kids that we're going to have. Secondary lunch will be eaten in the classroom and in the cafeteria depending on grade level. Lunch will be eaten in the cafeteria at the high school. Now, primary, I don't think that we're ready yet on how that's going to run. Is that correct, Julia?
We're providing good classrooms.
Could you just come up here and say that?
Hi, everybody. So for the elementary building, lunch will be eaten in the classroom or the cafeteria, depending on the grade level. Obviously, younger kids need some support with their lunches, where the older kids, 4, 5, 6, do not need the help. So we will be able to put some of them in the cafeteria with social distancing, and that allows us in the classroom to utilize our aides, hopefully on a one-on-one in the classrooms, where at the cafeteria level, an aide can work with more tables. So I hope that helps.
Okay, so as I started this presentation, it is important for you to realize, as the guardians and parents, that we get it. There is a very much a part of the social emotional well-being that we have to all understand and respect and work with. Life in general is more stressful due to COVID, and so we will be providing extra support for students and training for our staff. And that's also part of those first 4 days. The Mayfield Central School District has hired an additional counselor at the elementary school. Her name is Stephanie Duell. And if you don't remember that name, you can just call Stacy, who's now the secretary at the elementary school. And she'll be happy to transfer you into Stephanie. And she'll be happy to help you with any concerns at the elementary level. Andrea Bovey will also still be there, but Andrea Bovey is a social worker. Stephanie Duell is the elementary guidance counselor. So their roles are similar, but also they're very different. But Stephanie's here to help you. She has great experience, great education, and she's here for the students, and she's also here for the families. So please reach out to her. They both have a wealth of knowledge with social emotional well-being, and will be able to help you any way they possibly can, or will steer you in the right direction where you might get additional help. Our high school has changed also this year. Joelle Domenico, she is back. She was out on pregnancy leave last year, and we've hired a new guidance counselor, gentleman. His name is Graham Pritchard, and they are here for also any concerns that you have in the middle school and also in the high school. So that's grades 7 through 12. So hopefully they can help you if you have any concerns. That's what they're there for. And, you know, it's important. The social emotional well-being, it's really important. It's a big part of this. I mean, the kids have to be comfortable social emotionally to learn. So if you know of any problems that they might have that they don't want to share with anybody, you know, you can call these people and they'll call them in and just have conversations with them and see what they can do to help them and help you. Facilities. So access to drinking water will remain in place. We're limiting the water fountains to bottle filling only. So please bring a water bottle that can be filled, and that's going on in all the school districts. We're going to have hand sanitizer stations all over the place. I'm sure you see it everywhere you go. We're doing the same thing here. They definitely will be in every classroom. They'll definitely be in the office. And then we're going to have those, you know, the wall ones. I'm just not sure, you know, if they're going to be in the halls or, you know, where we're going to put them yet. I don't think that's been decided. As you know, through this whole epidemic, that, you know, frequent hand washing is huge, and using sanitizers. So we use it. I'm getting used to it. But it's just important. And, you know, the slide says before and after eating. Well, and using the restroom. Well, I mean, I personally use it a lot more than that, and I'm sure, you know, the teachers will be working with the students to, you know, make sure they use them as much as possible. Someone asked a question about fire drills and lockdown drills. We'll still have those. We have to have them as a building in New York State, so that'll still happen, and that will take place with masks on. That's how we've been guided in the direction for that. On transportation. So this is interesting. So we sent out the survey regarding reopening, and about 50% said that they're going to be driving this soon. So that's fine. We understand that. We are providing busing, but if you want to drive them, we understand that. Masks will be provided by aides on the bus. That's important. You just need to know that. If a student forgets, we understand. No, we're not going to let them not hop on the bus. They're not going to school because they're going to face covering. You know, we're real firm on the social distancing and mask wearing. We're all doing it, and we're used to doing it. And the teachers will be here for 4 days. They'll get used to doing it, and the bus providers are going to be really responsible for the completing and sanitizing for CDC and DOH. One more thing that I didn't mention. So there was a slide about the answer to that Abigail question I caught is yes. The bus providers, so on Wednesdays, we will be delivering meals. So that's your remote day. That's the day the students aren't in school. So how the school district will operate is, Mark, I'll get to that. That's at the end of the presentation. The bus providers will complete, when will they complete cleaning and sanitizing? Well, they're gonna do it every day. But the big cleaning and sanitizing will be on Wednesdays, because we're going to be having the bus drivers deliver the food to families who want food on Wednesdays. Other schools did that, so we'll be doing that also. And you'll be hearing about that from your principals. I'm not sure how they're going to work that out, but if you're in the free and reduced program, it's paid for by that. And if you're paying, you would just pay if you want lunch delivered by the school. Right, it's probably a breakfast lunch combination. I haven't talked to Lindsay to find out exactly how she's going to do it. Driving to school. So parents, legal guardians will be encouraged to drop off students to reduce density of buses. Like I said, according to the survey, it looks like 50% are anyway. And students who attend CTE, that would be in the high school, they'll be encouraged to drive to HFM main campus if they are legally allowed to have parent permission. Students who attend CTE will be encouraged to drive to HFM main campus if they're legally allowed to and have parent permission. So thank you for that. Drop off and pickup time. So this is important. This has changed. Do you know the answer to that PTEC, Matt? Yeah, Pete, she asked about PTEC, somebody.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay. So with PTEC, whoever just asked that, if they're able to drive and or if they have parent permission, that would be the same. Elementary school drop off, the time is different here. We'll begin at 8:35. Elementary school drop off will begin at 8:35. That is a change, folks. Dismissal will be at 2:45. That is a change. So elementary school drop off will be at 8:35. Dismissal will be at 2:45. High school. High school is middle school and high school grades 7 through 12. Drop off will begin at 7:45. Students need to be picked up at 2. Also, very important is high school will be implementing new drop off and pickup locations. Parents and guardians will drop off in the upper parking lot, and buses will be dropping off and picking up in the lower lot. So that's a change. So in the high school, middle school, high school, parents and guardians will drop off in the upper parking lot. That's, I call it the front door, by the high school office. And buses now will be dropping off and picking up in the lower lot, which is the front of the building. Okay? Right. So attendance. Attendance will be taken in all person classes as usual. Okay? So that hasn't changed. But attendance will be taken also now in remote classes. So like say Wednesday, we are taking attendance. What we're considering high absences is more than 2 per month. And if there's more than 2 per month, it's going to get a parent contact from, I think the first phone call will be from one of the guidance counselors. I didn't catch that one. Will lead to parent contact and intervention to ensure school participation. Okay. Specials in physical education, students must be at least 12 feet apart in order to take off face coverings. They can't do team sports or contact sports in physical education. The elementary school, so you have specials. The art, the music, and library will be provided in the classroom. Elementary school, art, music, and library will be provided in the classroom. The junior high school will remain the same. Students with special needs, IEP, 504, ENL, etc. Students with unique learning needs will still receive accommodations, modifications, and whether it's hybrid or remote environments And these are just examples. One-to-one support, small groups, push-in support, pull-out support, and remote support. So there's all different scenarios with these kids. We try to do the best we can. We want them to have the best possible education that we can provide for them. Technology and connectivity. So the Mayfield Central School District will provide devices to all students. So that's a change. We are providing devices to all students. So that will be all the students in primary. We've talked to the teachers and whether they will be getting Chromebooks or iPads. I'm not sure what grade's getting what, but they haven't come in yet. That's the only thing that's important that you need to know. So they have been ordered. I'm hoping to have them in before school starts, but I'm not sure. The Mayfield Central School District will provide a mobile internet device free of charge to any family who needs one. That's very important to those of you who might not have a mobile internet service. We will give it to you free of charge to any family who needs one. The Mayfield Central School District will provide training to students and staff to use online learning tools effectively. The Mayfield Central School District will begin to offer Wi-Fi options in the parking lots of both buildings. I'm going to let Matt talk about that in a minute. And Matt has already mentioned that Mayfield Central School District will offer support tutorial videos for parents on our website. I think those are up or no? Anybody know?
There are videos already.
Okay. So there are videos up already. You just have to follow the links. The Mayfield Central School District will provide IT support for students remotely or in person when the issue arises. That's important. I don't think you realize we're here for you. You know, if you're having a problem with this remote learning and especially the IT part of it, we are happy to support you. And I'll let Matt talk for a minute here. Matt, Dr. Lewis.
So I wanted to take a minute and explain those Wi-Fi options in the parking lot. Think of if you've been to Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's in Gloversville and Johnstown, those Wi-Fi options and those opportunities, we'll be sending them out. We actually have them in the house right now. We're just trying to get them all installed. But the whole idea is that if you need to, or as an option, you could just come utilize our parking lots and then tap into any of the Wi-Fi and use that Wi-Fi as an option. So, you know, in small rural schools, this is something as an option, as an opportunity for everyone, because I know that sometimes Wi-Fi is an issue. So I did want to let you know that those will be up as soon as we get those up. Again, like I said, we have them in house. As soon as we get those up and working, we'll definitely send out and I'll call them, you know, that those are up and how to utilize them. So, look forward to those working. Enjoy.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. That was a grant, right, Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna do 5 parent questions that were some of the first questions I guess that came through. There are a ton of questions that are going to be on our website. These should be uploaded Friday or Monday. Some of the questions are repetitive, so we're going to just take one question and put it together with some of the questions. All right, hold on a minute. Okay, so our children are going to require to have COVID-19 tests regulated. You know, we're an education provider, not a medical institute, so we're not going to have the tests at all. There'll be no COVID-19 testing done here on campus. So you'd have to go back to whatever provider that you use for that. Is remote learning an option for your child? Yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. As I probably have, I didn't start this session out, I did the last one, but the one thing that's happened since March 13th is, you know, every week I'd get an email from the Department of Health, and then I'd watch something with the governor, and there'd be some contradictions, and then by the end of the week there'd be a solution. So COVID is something that changes rapidly, and as a school district, we're constantly in the middle of it, and so we're changing rapidly as fast as we can with everything that's going on. As the district offered a delayed start, many districts across the state have researched this option. A cumulative decision we made by the Board of Education to consult with the administration. So we already are having a delayed start because we're starting September 14th. Will air quality be tested in rooms? The CDC and DOH doesn't require testing to be done. Ventilation in each room will be increased. What will the school's schedule look like this year? The Mayfield Central School District will meet the required number of instructional days as it has in previous years. The place of instruction might change depending on guidance from the governor. So with that said, the two of the important things that you need to know is the first thing is that school starts on September 14th. So it's not starting right after Labor Day, which is how we were doing it originally. School is starting September 14th. So that might be a change for some of you. Secondly, so you're going to get a Blackboard message about that probably in an hour from now. About that. Then you're also going to get another Blackboard message because we are going to offer remote learning. So what we're doing is we're sending out, I believe, a link to a survey. It's probably going to be on our website. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, so they've just sent an email out to parents with a survey to answer. But this time you'll have to say, your family name, what grades. It's on the form. I think it's for it's for 10 weeks, right? For 10 weeks, a semester. So that's important. It's for a whole semester. If you go with it, that's great. It's just that it's for a whole semester. The reason being because of staffing, I can't continue the staffing needs. So that's important. So that is an option. So if that's what you'd like, 50% on the survey wanted all remote. So we're happy to do that. I just have to figure out how many kids, and we have an idea how we're going to do it, but I have to kind of find out from you first, and then that will also affect what how the class sizes will be, in school. Like I said, the one thing that remains consistent with COVID is the change. This information that I'm saying to you today is as of today. Easily, I can tell you, the school superintendent, it could change tomorrow. I mean, it's changed so much weekly since March that it's amazing. Over the next few weeks, we're going to continue to provide all of you, our community, with updated information. We're here to support you. We want to prepare you, for school opening. We're going to provide you with updated information as we continue to prepare for the 2020-21 school year. There will be a page on the website, and that's where we're going to be putting our questions and answers up. We're trying to have it all up and done by Friday. I don't know if that's going to be physically possible between meetings and a few other things going on this week, but at the very latest, everything should be up and running by next week. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you for being here, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to work with your families and your children. Yes, and Ms. Sanford's going to say something the other way here.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you do not know me, I'm Jennifer Sanford, Director of Special Education. I just want to talk about students with disabilities. So students with disabilities, we need to provide services to the greatest extent possible. With that being said, Mayfield would like to offer students with disabilities who have a special education program written on their IEP, which would include a 12-1-1 classroom, direct consultant or resource room, 4 days a week of in-person learning that is being offered to those students. Is it mandatory? It is not. It is up to you as the parent or guardian if you would like to send your child 4 days a week. So I know there's been some talk about that. I've received some questions. I've also received some phone calls. So I just want to specify that in regards to what that looks like. Again, it's students with disabilities. Section 504 is a general education service. So we don't have the capacity to also include those students 4 days a week. Typically, students Section 504 get accommodations and modifications. Obviously, those will be provided to your child with no issues. So I just wanted to clarify that. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to call my office or email me and I will get back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. So all the questions that are coming in, I can't do the presentation and answer them as they're coming in because it disrupts the presentation. But there's one question that keeps coming in. I'm finding out from Betsy, the communication specialist, and you're asking about the remote learning. So there's a survey that's being sent out by email. If your email is not updated or you're not able to get it, please contact one of the school offices to either come in and physically pick up the survey or to give them your email address. All you have to do is fill out the survey and you will be remote. It's not a problem. We'll set up the classrooms, we'll set up the teachers, we'll set up the classes, and I think there might have been a misunderstanding when I presented that. So I just want to make sure that's clarify that. I don't want any confusion with that. There is a survey if you want to go remote. Either way, actually.
It's hybrid or remote. And it's a commitment form. So
Yeah.
if you are, that's very important that parents, you understand that you are committing, you are actually signing the bottom of the form saying you are committing to either the hybrid or remote learning model. It's for, like you said, either for a semester at the secondary level or trimester for the elementary.
Okay, so this is a.
This survey here is a little bit more detailed than the survey that was sent a few weeks ago. So we just asked these, if you could fill that out, because we really have to know numbers now in order to see how we're going.
I'm not sure if you could hear her, so I'll just kind of go over a little bit what she said. So this last survey that was sent out, I understand that there was another survey a few weeks ago. This survey is more detailed in just how you want your student educated. You have to put your kids' names on it. You have to put your grade your students are in. And you have to, and it's a commitment for, say, I think that Ms. Sanford said a semester.
Yep, trimester, elementary, semester, secondary.
Trimester elementary, semester secondary. I hope that cleared the air for some of the last questions. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time. We're here for you. Again, it's a privilege to work with you and your kids. And we call with any questions, send them in. We're happy to answer them. That's why we're here. There's so many things that we don't know. And we'll be happy to answer them for you. Okay? Please look for the answers on the website. There'll be a question and answer page on the website. It's going to take a few days because we have a lot of questions. All right? Thank you so much for your time. Have a great afternoon.